Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse live pregame show with my good friend, Stephen Fox. Welcome, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Salute to you. Salute to the chat. Salute to the Into the Knicks-Verse family, and salute to the SV Nation. I hope everyone's well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, we got more chilling news this morning. Deuce McBride on health and safety protocols. He's out. So I guess there seems to be a trend here, Foxy. Play well and wake up with COVID the next morning.
Yeah, Grimes, everyone, and I'm like saying, you know what? Thank you, Lord, because Tibbs is so rigid. I don't think the kids would ever get a chance. So this is really a thing for getting a chance. So they're teasing our emotions. They come in with their Grimes or Deuce, light it up, show that there's a future and hope for us Knicks fans, and then they're gone. And we were saying to ourselves, oh no. If this comes back, is Tibbs not going to let them have burn again and go right back to his rigid vets and journeymen that he loves?
Yeah, that's always the danger with someone like him. But I'll tell you, you know, we joke around and half joking because about him being stubborn, but he does adapt here and there. And then today, a little bit of an indicator was there's a possibility that Kemba Walker might play. And we'll get into discussing that. But before we talk about that, let's discuss the new arrival. Right here, Tyler Hall has been signed on a 10-day contract. Ian Begley tweeted out, Knicks signed Tyler Hall via the hardship exception. Hall is a 6'5" guard, is averaging 14.6 points, 4.2 rebounds, and 3.2 assists per game for the Westchester Knicks. New York Knicks currently has 6 players in NBA health and safety protocols. Tommy Beer also tweeted out similar thing, but he also mentioned that he's appeared in 11 games for the G League Knicks. He leads the team in 3-point makes, averaging 3.4 per game, while shooting 36.6 from downtown. Yeah. What do you know about? How do you feel about this?
I've watched him only because it was ancillary that I saw him because my eyes were glued for either Luka or Deuce or Sims and see how they were doing. And as I'm watching, I'm like, wow, this guy Tyler Hall is lighting it up, playing well. So hey, I'm glad that he's going to get an opportunity. Things happen, but let's see what he can do. This is what it's all about. Next man up.
Yeah. Geraldine, welcome, Geraldine. Salute to you.
Hi, Geraldine. She's wonderful.
Yeah. Thank you, man. And Anthony 212, he says Hall is a walking bucket. I've heard that. I've actually not watched him play, so don't really know too much about him. But his averages, his 3-point percentages look good, look healthy, and they
shooting
look
higher than Tatum, Jason Tatum, folks.
Yeah, exactly. So that's nice. It's a nice addition. I mean, these are part of the plus sides of when you have guys out. Other young guys get an opportunity. So happy for them. Now, the other thing now we're going to get to discuss is this. So Mark Berman tweeted out, sounds like Kemba Walker is going to play. Thibodeau said definitely looking at him as option. Could start if Derrick Rose is out. They're working on him, Thibs said, of Rose. So we still don't know. He's going to be a game time decision. So probably while we're discussing it, we're going to find out if Derrick Rose is going to play. Now, we need him. Whether he starts or not is a whole other thing, but we need him. We need all the bodies. I mean, I'd like to see Kemba play personally today.
Yeah. As we were saying that, in previous broadcasts, we're looking at it from a GM and an analyst standpoint, and it could seem harsh, but we were just talking about how the Knicks could win. But don't get that mixed up with, we think he's a class act. I'm a Bronx boy, so I love him. So, George and I were saying, folks, that it'd be a great, feel-good story if he went back to Boston, lit him up, and had, just another taste of success. So wish you well, Kemba. Things happen for a reason, so I'd love this to be your night. So putting out positive vibes for you, my friend.
Absolutely. I totally 100% echo that sentiment. I'm always been a huge fan of Kemba. I actually a little bit brokenhearted that the experiment didn't work. And like we just talked about before, part of it was if the other guys on the court were pulling their weight defensively, like if Julius and RJ were playing at the level of last season defensively, Kemba might have been able to stay as the starter on this team.
And that F word, Fournier.
Fournier, yeah. But Fournier, he is what he is. But
no, I just meant that even if they RJ and Randall played like that, Fournier was really the linchpin to take him down, because you just, we've talked about it. So if we had another option, we could possibly, as George was talking about, disguise Kemba in the backcourt, but we couldn't, and he was exposed, and it's a shame. Like I said, really, you could see how the players love him. And you know what? I watched the game the other night, and this is what a class act is. IQ came off the court, and he stood up and he talked to IQ about something. So guys, they don't have to do that. This is not college. This is pros. Nobody has to do this. Nobody's babysitter. But you could see his enthusiasm jumping up during games and stuff. You could see his smile, but you could also see him talking to the youngins, that sharing some of his experience. And you can't ask for more, man. That's what you want in a vet. But what a class act. I saw that and I said, you know what? I wish well for him, and this is happening. So that's why I'm really hoping that tonight, the basketball gods look down on him and give him a hoop that's about 50 feet wide to his eyes.
It would be wonderful. It'd be wonderful, man. If he finally, if he gets his chance, like you're saying, and then he just lights him up, gets 25 tonight. That would be sweet. And the issues are, let's talk a little bit about Kemba Walker and what his possible future is in the NBA. Because at the moment, despite today he might actually play, but this might just be a one-time thing, maybe another game or two until somebody starts coming back, like RJ returns, Obi returns even. Anybody else starts returning, this might be it for him. So it's a good time to kind of showcase his talents, his abilities. And there is. Here's the question: is there still a place in the NBA for Kemba Walker, for this version of Kemba Walker that we've seen this season?
I think there is, but I think it's more toward the second half of the season, where somebody picks him up and just says, you know what? And as you were touching on, George, that we have a team that has a good defensive team that we can disguise this guy, but he's a microwave. If Kemba gets in his groove, he's very streaky. He's a very dangerous guy. If we can get him, at the end of the season, toward the end of the season, we'll pick him up, but he could be very valuable to come in. And because he's, like we said, a class act, he's not going to ruin team synergies and stuff like that. He's well liked in the locker room. He could come in the right situation and help a team. We're a young team, and we're relying on him to be the Charlotte Kemba. Other teams who could just rely on him not to just be a guy who could light it up for a short period of time, that's where he could be very valuable to somebody else.
Yeah. Unlike Thibodeau's attitude about Kemba just being a starter, like he doesn't see him as a second unit point guard. Other teams wouldn't necessarily have that attitude.
Thank you. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's where his value may come in. And hopefully for us, hopefully for him, first of all, we wish him the best. So we'd like to see him, try to get that opportunity. But also for us, we love our Knicks, that, whether we can have somebody absorb his salary and also maybe get something back, a second round or something like that, add to our asset pool.
Yeah. Well, even at this point, that would be nice, obviously. At this point, I think we owe it to Kemba as an organization to find him a good landing spot. He's a class act. He's acted in such a classy way, and he's kind of a little bit of the Theo cheering on the bench.
Literally.
Just a positive force, and that should be rewarded. Some of the places that I've been thinking about, and I've read a few things. There really isn't anything that there's no traction right now other than one particular rumor that we're going to touch on next, this 3-team possible. It's just kind of almost like it's a pure rumor. It's what it is.
I
But
was
we'll talk
hoping that
about
the
it.
Lakers would have maybe picked him up if they didn't pick up IT.
Lakers would have been. I was thinking about them. Yeah. The other. There's like 3 other teams that kind of make some sense. One of them is the Sixers. It's a possibility. Of course, they have the Ben Simmons situation. Ben Simmons is not going to play for the Sixers ever again, and they're going with they got IQ's former teammate
Maxey,
from Kentucky, who's starting.
Who's having
right
a
now.
wonderful season so far.
Absolutely, but other than that, they don't really have a qualified point guard with experience that can really lead that team when needed. Walker might be a nice fit there, and they can hide him defensively.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Thibault. Yeah, they have some wonderful
Thibault,
guys.
even Tobias, Drummond. They're more constructed in a way where they could take advantage of Kemba Walker's assets, what he brings to the table. So that's a possibility. Not too many trades ever happen between the Sixers and the Knicks, especially in season. So, but in this case, if they just take the attitude of, hey, let's find a good home for Kemba, he deserves to play. Let's see what we can do.
I would hopefully that because of the way he's acted, that talk to his agent, have the agent contact, talk to Kemba where he thinks the best fit is, and let them see if they can do something.
Yeah, and he's a proven scorer, and that's something that the Sixers definitely need. Their offense has been, their offense needs a little bit of help, and he could provide that. He could be like the microwave that you were talking about,
and also a settling force for the young guys on that team too.
And that too, absolutely. The other team is the Dallas Mavericks.
The New York Knicks West.
Yep, the New York Knicks. The Texas Knicks.
The Texas Knicks.
That's an interesting one. I'm kind of tired of seeing so many ex-Knicks wearing Mavs uniforms, but that's an interesting spot. Another one is a return to Charlotte.
Wow.
A return to Charlotte.
Yeah, I have Scary Terry and a few of them down there. I don't know if with all the guys down there, but I don't know. I'm a loss for words where he'd fit in at this stage, especially with Charlotte, a young team. I don't know if they're just going young and it's just not an option.
He'd come off the bench, provide leadership. He would kind of do. Yeah, that's basically what he had. He would get a chance to play with the second unit there because LaMelo would start. But LaMelo is a bit injury prone. So there might be times where they need Kemba's leadership, and he's beloved in Charlotte.
Yeah,
and he loves Charlotte. He loves Charlotte. He said he would have signed the max contract if they had offered it to him. He didn't want to leave Charlotte.
Yeah, he's absolutely. Charlotte loves him. Multi-time All-Star there, so he's in the hearts of the fans down there.
Yeah. Now, this trade here. This is from Sports Illustrated. Actually, you texted this to me. Could Mavs make 3-way trade for Sixers, Ben Simmons, and Knicks Kemba Walker? Whoa. This is some crazy clickbait.
You're not kidding, man.
But, let's talk about it.
And I know everybody in the chat's excited. Everybody's been really wanting Charles Bassey and the horse meat. That's the word everybody's been talking about. Charles Bassey to the Knicks.
The Charles Bassey hive. Come on in. Oh, man. Hey, salute to the chat before we get into discussing this. Thank you guys for joining us. Really appreciate you guys coming on. And, put the thumbs up. Subscribe.
Just came over the wire. D Rose is out tonight.
So D Rose is out tonight. I'd imagine
Kemba
will be freed. So Keith will get his wish.
Yeah.
Kemba will probably start tonight. Yes, Kemba will start tonight. I just got the other tweet from Berman.
Yeah. So folks, it's coming hot and heavy over the Twitter right now. So we'll be giving updates as they come in.
how quickly things change in the NBA. The modern NBA with COVID around. Oh man, this is something else. What? This is going to be a wild game. A wild game. But before we get into actually breaking down the upcoming match with the Celtics, let's discuss this little three-way proposal here. So the Dallas Mavericks receive Ben Simmons and Kemba Walker. The Knicks receive Charles Bassey, which was a number 2 draft pick,
Second
round draft pick. Sorry, second round draft pick in the recent draft. He's an interesting player. He's raw.
Not a bad shot blocker. Came back from a catastrophic knee injury in college, Western Kentucky. But he's just filler material in this trade. This proposed trade.
It's just a way for us to be able to dump some salary.
Exactly.
And find a home where he'll be, where Kemba will be utilized, because I think they will use him in Dallas, especially if the Mavericks give up what they're proposing here: Jalen Brunson, Timmy Hardaway Jr., Dorian Finney-Smith, and they'll get the 2025 first-round pick, lottery protected via Dallas Mavericks. It's clickbait. I don't know if the actual names are correct or everything, but
the compensation's low, boy.
Yeah, the compensation's low. But you know what? We were talking about this actually with Keith. The market dictates what you get. And right now, no one's banging on the Sixers' door for Ben Simmons. And he could be an interesting addition. He could really help inject the Mavericks with, tremendous ball handling. He could take that burden off Luka.
Yeah, but Luka is so ball dominant. How is a ball dominant guy like Ben Simmons going to work with a guy that's ball dominant like Luka?
Hey, you know what? That's their problem.
Yeah, that's a nice problem. Let's get him out of the Atlantic Division, and I'm fine with it.
Exactly. I mean, Jason Kidd, if anyone can figure it out, I mean, it's a guy like Jason Kidd, because he was pretty talk about ball dominant. But the other thing is it gives them like a substantial piece, an all-star piece, without having to give up KP. So it's like that third all-star level player added to that squad. You never know. It's something. I mean, and also Simmons, he's got to get out of Philadelphia.
Yeah.
So he might embrace a situation like this.
And Mark Cuban likes those headlines, so this would be right up his alley, adding, like you said, a third star.
Exactly. So I'm not sure about this exact trade, but it looks like a multi-team trade is the way that Ben Simmons has the best chance of the Sixers have the best chance of moving Ben Simmons. And if this involves, and then that's a way for us to get involved with Kemba Walker. So let's hope Kemba has a good game tonight. Let's hope whoever plays for the Knicks obviously has a great game tonight.
Yeah, because it may be their last before they leave for COVID.
Exactly. Oh, that's the other thing. If whoever has a great game, they're going to wake up with COVID tomorrow.
Yeah, statistically, everybody. Oh wow, Grimes! What a game! He has COVID. What a game by Deuce! He has COVID. Oh my God, RJ came back. He has COVID. Yo, I'm getting drained from this. Come on, folks. Are we going to have to go bubble time or something?
Oh man. Well, we talked. I don't want to get too much into it because I may deal with it tomorrow or whatever. But I mean, I proposed a holiday pause, and everyone's saying, "Oh, we can't because of the Christmas games or whatever." All right, so then pause it after Christmas Day. But at some point, we're going to have to do something, or else we may lose the whole season if it gets out of control. And we don't want to be spiraling. We want to get ahead of it. So anyway, but I don't want to get too far into that. It's a whole other discussion. Let's just deal with what we're dealing with tonight. And tonight we're dealing with the Boston Celtics in Boston. The last 10 games, the Knicks are 3-7, but the Celtics ain't much better. 4-6. 4-6. They're the differential. They're actually better. They're 3 points better than us tonight. But look, they allow 109 points per game. That's pretty high for them. And so they struggle a little bit on the defensive end. They have much more scoring punch than we do. And which the guy on the right, Jason Tatum's, he's having a kind of an odd year, I would say, for him.
Yeah. He's only shooting 33.7 from 3. He's still dominant, obviously. But Jaylen Brown, I don't know if he's going to be available. He's been dealing with some hamstring issues. So,
Yes, actually, I have the injury report, so we can look at that next. But so you can see here the oh, I got the wrong field goal percentage. It's 40. Yeah, I put the wrong. I doubled it up. That's not the. They're like 45% or something for
yeah.
field goal percentage.
Yeah, they're 22nd in the league in field goal percentage, 23rd in the league in 3-point percentage, and 20th in the league in 2-point percentage. They get to the line a lot, though. They're third in foul shot attempts, and they're fourth, a very good foul shooting team.
Yeah.
Also an excellent rebounding team.
Yes, yes. And Tatum, actually, he draws fouls like, like poop draws flies. So he yeah, so that's it's going to be a tough matchup. This was the opening night matchup, which the double overtime, which was thrilling, and we pulled it out. Let's just hope we pull out another victory. Unfortunately, Derrick Rose is not available for tonight, so it will be Kemba starting.
I'm kind of glad about that because I want that ankle to heal. I don't want them to put a Band-Aid on it and then he tweaks it again and he's out give him a couple days, man. We're going in with a skeleton crew anyway, so sometimes you got to bite the bullet to see the big picture. We need D Rose badly, so let's not have him tweak that any further.
I'm with you. It just happens to be during we're missing 6 players already. So, this was a tough. Now it's a 7th key player of our not our rotation, but because Knox wasn't part of our rotation originally, but so it's just bad timing. But I agree with you. We want his ankle to get better because we need him for the long stretch. Because I still believe that, let's say, for example, tonight we win this game tonight, and the Wizards and who else is playing tonight? The Wizards lose.
Yeah, we could go right back into 10th place again.
Yeah, we could go right back into 10th place. The Wizards and Toronto. Yeah, Wizards and Toronto lose. We'll be in 10th place. So we'll be right back in it. And we're going to have a pretty soft schedule coming up. Not too soft, but somewhat soft. The Pistons a couple times. And who else is coming up? Yeah. We kind of recapped this before, but
and the crazy part of it is if we win tonight, folks, we're pretty much at the same spot as we were a year ago. So with all the gloom and doom, we had although it was only a 72 game season, I'm thinking positive we can get over this COVID hurdle and get our players back healthy and into their, groove, and anything's possible for the rest of this season.
Absolutely. It really is. It really is. And we have the talent on the team. It just hasn't been blending that well on the first unit. But after a while, maybe they can unlock some things. We saw some signs of life from Julius. We saw some signs of life from Mitch the last game in that fourth quarter. Sensational fourth quarter for Mitch.
It was a great fourth quarter.
Yeah. He thrives when the ball moves, when the offense is in motion.
And that's why he's like the second team so much.
Yeah. And, props to Thibs for making that move, because he's the one who switched by starting Nerlens. Mitch gets to play the majority of his minutes with the second unit where he's been thriving. It took a little while, though. The first half, he wasn't even... First half, he was terrible in the first half.
So what happens after you watch Noel? Everybody's like, why isn't Mitch on the first team? This guy Noel's terrible.
Yeah. Well, that comes to the key issue, which is Julius and Fournier Thibs has to get in their face and be like, look at the way the second unit is playing. That's how the first unit has to play if we are to thrive. That means the ball can't stick. Keep it moving. You keep moving. Let's thrive in this motion offense. And then, then you bring Mitch back into it. And then because RJ actually thrives in that offense. RJ is not, he's not a half court guy per se. He's more of a transition player, the motion offense. That's why he thrives with that second unit as well.
Mm-hmm.
So let's hope we're in this. And speaking of transition, we're in this transitionary period of trying to find the best blend of players. So right now,
I think it's pretty evident that he needs to split them up. Last game, behind the scenes, we were always talking, George and I. A couple of the screens, like the dribble handoff by Randall to Fournier. It's like, what are you doing? That pass, it was like so soft, or it wasn't where it's supposed to be. It's over here, or bullet pass where he threw like a Nolan Ryan fastball at him. Like, how was he supposed to catch that? And back at Fournier doing the same. So it's like both of them are, I think, venting their anger at each other in the middle of the game. That I think the only solution is put Fournier on the second team. He's shooting terribly. I would never in a million years, folks, have predicted a guy that's just a veteran and just meaning a great shooter that has the stats that he's putting up. That I think the Fournier is shooting 29.2% on open. Shout out to Tommy Beer on open 3-pointers. So that's no defender within 4 feet. He's 19 of 36. So I could have never predicted, especially open. This is a guy that you leave him open, he's going to be shooting over 40%. So it goes back to not everybody's meant for the bright lights of Madison Square Garden. Some people wilt, and otherwise, is he tired from the Olympics for the playing for France? I don't know, but this is not the guy that we saw in Orlando or Boston. This guy, his shooting is defying what he's done in the past.
Yes. And to piggyback on those stats, because Tommy Beer also put out another tweet about Julius Randle. Julius is shooting 25.5% on wide open 3-pointers. No defender within 6 feet this season. He's 13 for 51. He shot 40% on wide open threes last season. 25.5%. That's abysmal, man. On wide open.
Yep.
And here's the thing. So the offense does its job to get him a wide open look, and he doesn't make it. And that's any player. But even with that being said, you have to keep taking the shots because you don't regain your touch by passing the ball. If you have an open look, a wide open look, you need to take it, or else the whole structure of the offense caves in on itself, which is why in that second unit, it was working. The ball kept moving, even when guys were not making their buckets. The ball kept moving. They didn't deviate from that plan, and then eventually, boom, IQ hit one. Deuce comes in, hits one. Boom, Burks. And then it starts becoming infectious. People start calming down. They start feeling the groove. And I do like that Randall has continued to shoot it recently, and it has come back a little bit. His 3-point touch has returned a tiny bit in the past couple of games.
I want him to eat in the mid-range, actually. I agree with you. But last year, his season, if you look around the DeRozans and the Durants and others, mid-range, with his season last year was fantastic. A lot of it has to do because he was shooting that mid-range shot. He gets 3-point crazy. And historically, last year he shot, 41%. I'll round it off last year. But the previous years, he wasn't near that. So, so that's why him shooting at the percentage that he's shooting this year at 34%, that's pretty much where he's going to shoot. So that's why I'm saying.
The only thing is, Foxy, because I watched, because you and you mentioned that before, and I was like, you know what, it's a great point. And I watched some more tape on him, and the lack of 3-point shooting, the lack of efficiency for Julius is impacting his mid-range game as well, because defenders aren't coming up on him on the 3-point line. So he struggles more to
You're forcing him to shoot the three.
Exactly. He can't find the space in the mid-range area. So but we've seen it. I mean, recently I should have had those numbers. I'll pull them up here. Maybe you can talk a little bit. I'll pull them up.
But it's also, us having the centers that we do that clog the paint, so that doesn't open up the spacing for Julius or an RJ to slash and get in there. So of course, he had a shot last game, but last season we saw a lot of times he had that little fadeaway mid-range by the foul line that was money. and he had a shot like the last game like that or two. That's his spot, and I wish he'd do it. But like George just said, this is the NBA. The film and the tendencies, so they're just taking that away and saying shoot your 3 points to your heart's content because we're going to win out statistically if you do that.
I mean, against Golden State, he hit 5 of 8 3-pointers. That was fantastic. I love that. And the last,
I thought he was 3 of 8 actually, wasn't he?
He was 5 of 8.
No. I was looking at the Rockets. Yeah.
He was 5 of 8 against Golden State, which is that's fantastic. And I think he was 3 of 8 against the Rockets. So that's nice. That's 8 of 16 in the last 2 games. So he's starting to feel it, and you can actually see the way the ball is leaving his hand, the arc. It looks like a good shot.
Yeah. 18% of his shots are catch and shoot, and almost all 18% of that are 3-pointers with Julius. So he's also a guy that needs a dribble to get his rhythm. So a lot of times if he gets that pass, you're like, to put it up. He's best when he takes one dribble to get his rhythm. So even though he'll get it, he'll take that dribble to get it up. So, so he's due. I want that guy to be successful too. I don't take it on your shoulders, but this is a big game for him with everything, all the big players. This is when, take him on your shoulders tonight, Julius. See what you can do.
Absolutely. I agree with you, man. I agree with you. The last 5 games, both teams have only got 1 win. The Celtics haven't played since December 17th. Actually, it was last night. They played last night. They actually had a gap between the 13th and the 17th. That's nice days off there for them. And they lost that game. But so let's check out the injury report here. Here we go. So it doesn't say anything here about Jaylen Brown. So he might be a game time decision. I'm assuming he's going to play.
Yeah, if he sees Fournier, folks, if you remember, like George said, the opening game, he destroyed Fournier. Fournier looked like he was in cement all night. Obviously, he's an elite athletic specimen, but man, he couldn't get in front of him. No way, no how. So hopefully that hammy will hamper him a little tonight, and he's not as devastating with that first step as he usually is.
Yeah, man. All right, just to remind everybody, Kemba is starting tonight because Derrick Rose is going to nurse the ankle another game, which is that's the positive thing. At least it's not like a COVID and he's out for another 10 days. It could just be he needs one more game to just rest that ankle. So let's hope that.
And let's also do what they do, what teams do to Julius that we do to Marcus Smart. He's only shooting 27% from 3, so let him shoot threes galore.
Yeah, God, it would have been so fun to see Deuce going up against.
I can't believe you said that, because that would have been, the type of player Smart is, typical Oklahoma State boy, that he'd be testing him to see how tough he is. And Deuce, West Virginia, that would have been a really nice matchup, man. Tough against tough.
Totally. Hey, let's go check out the chat here. Thank you guys for joining us. Shout out to D Nice, my brother, Rick Pennington. We surveyed 100 people. Sincere to Genius. Anyone you want to shout out, Foxy?
Like you said, Liza Minnelli. Hey, Liza, how are you? I love Cabaret. Lex the Destroyer, one of the great mods of all time. Knicks 100 a game. How are you? Hope all is well with you and the family. Logan Walter. Again, Agent Super Argo, thank you for the note. Sincere to Genius, as always. Really, really appreciate all your support. And we mentioned Geraldine earlier. I love Geraldine; she's wonderful.
Still Dre,
still Dre. Viva la raza, yeah, Dre, my guy, man.
Hey, he put in the chat, when Simmons gets an opportunity like Grimes and Deuce, watch him shine just as much. Yeah.
Did you see the footage of him yesterday in Westchester?
No.
Yeah, there was some beast mode. I was like, yeah, he had this beautiful footwork. I'm like, wow, that looked little like Allen on the Cleveland. He got the ball in the post, fake one way, and had this little jump hook. Pretty. Then he went beast mode on a rebound.
He's got a nice little jump hook.
He does.
Nice,
so I'm like, I saw that, and I'm like, what Knicks center has this, folks? He had 3 blocks, I think. He also took down a rebound, made a nice fake, and went up and jammed it. So I'm like, yo, he showed some aggression there. The beast is coming out of Jericho. So yeah, I'd love to see Sims get some burn.
Yeah, is he available tonight? Because I feel like we never know.
We never know. I don't know. Yeah. Hey, Lou Memorabilia. Hey, thank you
man.
for the shout out.
Yeah,
Back at you, my friend.
brother. Hey, we're up to 90. 100. We reached 100.
Yeah,
awesome. That's great. Thank you guys for joining us. And hit
we
the
love
thumbs
you.
ups. We love the thumbs ups. All right,
Shout out to the DSJ Delano. Special shout out,
Delano.
one of the great
brother.
guys in Nick fandom. He's a legend, and rightly so, man. We love you. And also, again, thank you for your service.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, Foxy, I've got a feeling we're going to win this game tonight, Foxy.
Yeah, I like when you have that feeling because it makes me happy. There's a lot of stuff for us in our Nick fandom to get sad about, but let's have something. Let the Lord look down on us and to the Knicks fans and say, hey, I want you to smile tonight. And I can see us winning tonight. Actually, I can. For some reason, I got the same feeling that something that we could win this game.
One of the reasons that I'm feeling it is because I feel like the major issue with Julius, particularly, and obviously he's our engine, so we need him to play, at his top level, is focus. His focus has been off. Sometimes when you're out, guys, key players, and it just keeps building and building, it snaps the guys who are available's focus, makes it even sharper. And a sharply focused Julius could be 35 points tonight. So he could neutralize whatever Tatum does. And then the rest of the team, if Jaylen Brown plays, let's hope that we can maybe he has an off night. We're going to have to hope that he has an off night.
Yeah, I could see Julius going 30 plus tonight. Easy.
Yeah. And for all we know, Fournier could give us or Kemba, the
return to Boston.
Yeah, the return to Boston guys. One of those two could also go off for 25 plus, and that might just be just enough offense to carry the day. So and then there's Thibs. He has Thibs does pretty well against his former team. So I don't know. I got an interesting feeling because you never know. Sometimes when teams are backed up against the wall, like we said, they feel more connected to the guys that are actually going to take the floor with them. So
sure, that feeling's not the chili dog you had for lunch.
Oh no, I had an incredible slow roasted pot roast.
Ooh.
It took 6 hours to make. My son and I made it. It was fantastic with the homemade mashed potatoes and I had these carrots and mushrooms. Oof. I had the leftovers of it from a couple of days ago. It's delicious. So I'm feeling good.
I had a stuffed double-size pork chop with a sausage stuffing that, so I did it nice, same as you, low and slow. I did a little on the outside first and then put it in the oven. Oh man, every bite was like, oh,
hey guys, this is not just a pregame show. You get cooking tips.
Yeah. Yo, Frederick, my man Frederick, what up? Yeah. Hey, I'd love us to do a cooking show.
Boogie's in the house. Welcome, brother. Thank you, man, for showing up.
And tomorrow night we'll be dropping his new song with Cully and Papa Left. So congratulations.
Oh, yes. That's right. Awesome. That'd be fun. I'm definitely going to check in. Tomorrow night, check in Sports Vibes TV.
At 8 o'clock, where's the place to be? Sports Vibe TV at 8 o'clock with the one and the only Keese and the one and only Foxy.
Exactly. into the cooking verse.
Yo,
I love it.
Yeah, I do a pork shoulder that people would love. We should do some cooking segments.
That'd be hilarious. While we're doing the pregame, we're cooking.
Yeah, absolutely. So a little cooking, a little bowl.
We need the Knicks to cook tonight. That's what we need.
That's what
Unfortunately, we have no more rooks left to cook. They're all out except maybe Sims
or Tyler Hall.
Tyler Hall. I wonder if he'll even get to play. You never know.
He will. I think he will. Yeah. I think that they don't have a choice, especially Kemba and everything. You don't know how much he has in the tank for not playing. He may get winded quickly. He hasn't been in games for a while. It's not the same.
It's really true. Well, then a key player that we haven't even talked about at all, that's also not available, who had a great game, was Quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, career high 7 threes. Then he even says he showered with his mask, and then he gets COVID.
Yeah, I don't
Bad
know
luck.
about that's a little too much information, but yeah.
Yeah, where was he wearing his mask?
Yeah.
He was like, "Hey, I was being safe." Oh man. All right. Well, the game's going to start in a few minutes. If you guys have any questions or whatever you want to ask us, just drop them right now. We'll get to them because there's really this game. It's hard to forecast too much because it's such a weird team that we're going to be putting out on the floor tonight, especially with the second unit. The second unit is totally depleted.
Yeah, and a lot of stuff's going on in Boston, folks. There's Jaylen Brown. Brad Stevens said nothing doing. There's a lot of Jaylen Brown trade rumors. They benched Enes Kanter. They've also talked to the 76ers for Ben Simmons. So they're behind the scenes. They're doing a lot of stuff. So we'll see that, with new coach, new management, Danny Ainge not there any longer. So going to the Jazz. It's a new thing there. So they may be trying to make some trades. Jaylen Brown. Oof.
I love Jaylen Brown, man.
Me too, man.
Yeah. So
athleticism is where it's at. This team
Jaylen
needs
Brown.
athleticism in the worst way.
Yeah. I think, unfortunately, Jaylen Brown, to get him, would cost us RJ for sure.
Yeah.
And a lot of draft picks.
Yeah.
That's, just at minimum. At minimum. But depending on the structure of the deal, I definitely, I'm adverse to trading RJ yet because I think that he is someone that we just don't know truly what he's going to be. And the leap that he made last year over his rookie year that should be respected because there's a possibility he just comes back from COVID, picks up where he was starting to percolate.
He was
starting to percolate.
Would you have 45%? Was it?
Yeah, he was starting to percolate. I think I sent you the link here to this post. It was a great post here. So from December 7th to the 21st, from the 7th to the 10th, RJ was averaging 23.3 points per game on 46% field goal shooting. And that was after that slump. So he was starting to come out of it. Of course, he got COVID. Then Obi has a career night, puts up 19 points, 10 rebounds against Toronto, wakes up with COVID. Grimes, career high, finally gets to start. 27 points, 7 3-pointers made. Rookie record for a Knick. COVID. So we got a nice young core. Even Kevin Knox. I actually feel worse for Knox than all the Knicks who got COVID. Honestly,
Me too, man. I thought it was his last hurrah, and wow, he's doing okay. He's showing he could still show. I wish he wouldn't miss so many defensive assignments, but he can shoot. And boom, this happens. I'm like, I don't know how many more chances this kid's going to get, and I was hoping that he was going to take the bull by the horns.
I know he was getting a chance to showcase, and he was delivering. He was connecting, and even he did have a couple. He did have some. He was very inconsistent defensively, but he also had some nice moments defensively.
Mm-hmm.
So his length is just you can't argue with that. With his size,
he's
just
prototype
other shooters, even if he's not in the right position at all times. His length just makes guys miss. And that's something that we miss in general the whole time. I feel like we've been totally underutilizing Kevin Knox, but it's such a rigid point of view. It just bugs me, man. It just really bugs me that Thibs is so stubborn. Just to put it like that. He's just so stubborn, man.
Yeah. One last time, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, please hit that all reminder bell so you don't miss out on any of the wonderful content that George puts out into the Knicks-Verse. And while you're at it, please hit that subscribe for Sportify TV and Keys. Again, part of the syndicate.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, man. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us so much. I think, again, Foxy and I have a good feeling about this game tonight. We think our guys are gonna show up. They're gonna stand up and they're gonna bring us a W tonight, and that would be fantastic with a division rival. It'd be a huge win. It would be a huge win if we win tonight and the Wizards and I believe the Toronto lose. The Knicks will be in 10th place. Yeah, they'll be in 10th, which is the play-in.
And at the same record we had a year ago at this time, so there is hope, folks. Don't lose hope.
There is hope. There really is hope. There really is hope, man. All right, Foxy, thank you much for joining me, man.
Really and say my favorite thing in the world.
All right, well, thank you guys for joining us, and I'll see you around the Knicks-Verse.
Yeah.